Can you believe that the white powder you use to scrub your sink or deodorize your fridge could actually improve blood flow to your intimate areas and naturally restore erectile function? Sounds like a joke? I'm completely serious. I'm Dr. Linda, a professor of urology and men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience. And today, I'm going to show you why thousands of men over 50, including many of my patients, are regaining their vitality, confidence, and sexual health thanks to one simple kitchen ingredient: baking soda. This isn't a gimmick or a conspiracy theory. This is science. When used correctly, baking soda can help your body produce nitric oxide, increase blood oxygen levels, balance pH, and stimulate testosterone, all of which are essential for strong and lasting erections, especially in men over 50. In this video, I'll share 10 science-backed ways baking soda can help you regain your vitality, and reveal a simple morning formula that produced astonishing results for one of my patients. If you're a man who wants to maintain strength, stamina, and masculine vitality, without medication or embarrassment, then subscribe and turn on the notification bell. What I'm about to share may completely change how you view aging. If you find this topic helpful, type 1. If not, just type 0. I always listen and improve, for your sake. Very few people, even many doctors, know that baking soda, something we assume is just for cleaning or baking, can actually support erectile function in middle-aged and older men. But it's true, and it starts with a crucial factor: your body's pH level. After turning 50, the body tends to become more acidic. This isn't just a digestive issue. pH imbalance affects oxygen transport, weakens circulation, and disrupts nitric oxide production, the molecule essential for blood vessel dilation and triggering erections. The result? Blood doesn't reach where it needs to go, and despite desire, your body fails to respond. That's where baking soda, or sodium bicarbonate, comes in. Used correctly, it helps neutralize excess acid, rebalance pH, and support better circulation. A healthy circulatory system also improves testosterone production, the foundational male hormone. In other words, baking soda not only supports stronger erections, but also boosts overall vitality, from energy and mood to confidence. And the best part? No need for erection pills, injections, or scary side effects. Just a simple, safe, and unbelievably affordable intervention. Next, I'll guide you through 10 scientifically proven ways to incorporate baking soda into daily life to naturally restore energy, performance, and masculinity. 1. Balancing blood pH is essential for healthy circulation. One of the most silent yet dangerous reasons why men over 50 lose their erectile function is acidic blood. When you're younger, your body maintains a slightly alkaline blood pH, ideal for oxygen flow and circulation, including to your sexual organs. But aging, stress, and poor diet gradually shift your body into a more acidic state. Blood thickens, vessels constrict, and circulation slows. As a result, blood fails to reach the penis, and you struggle to perform, even with intact desire. Baking soda's natural alkalinity helps neutralize excess blood acid, allowing the circulatory system to function smoothly again. With better blood flow, erectile strength improves naturally, without medication. Take Harold, 67, a retired construction engineer. He came to me feeling drained, sexually inactive, and ready to give up. His blood tests showed slight acidity. I advised him to drink a quarter teaspoon of baking soda mixed with warm water and a few drops of lemon juice each morning before breakfast. The results were remarkable. After 3 weeks, Harold felt more alert, slept better, and, smiling brightly, told me, "Everything's working again." Circulation improved, his energy returned, and most importantly, his confidence was back, both in and out of the bedroom. 2. Reducing silent inflammation in blood vessels is the key to restoring erectile function. Many men assume their issue is low testosterone or poor blood flow. Few realize that chronic inflammation in the blood vessel lining, the endothelium, is a major culprit. This thin layer of cells produces nitric oxide, the molecule that signals blood vessels to expand and send blood to the penis. But when inflamed, the endothelium struggles to produce nitric oxide, vessels stay constricted, and erections fade over time. Baking soda helps reduce mild inflammation and regulate immune responses. As inflammation subsides, the endothelium recovers and produces more nitric oxide. Blood vessels open more easily, circulation improves, and erections return, naturally. Take Samuel, 58. He complained of losing his usual morning erections, low energy, a dull mood, and waning intimacy. Tests revealed mild chronic vascular inflammation, something often overlooked. Without drugs or hormone therapy, I suggested a simple habit. Every morning, he drank a warm glass of water with a quarter teaspoon of baking soda and a few drops of fresh lemon juice, 30 minutes before breakfast. He walked briskly for 20 to 30 minutes a day and added leafy greens rich in natural nitrates like spinach, celery, and beets. After 1 month, Samuel returned with brighter eyes and a clear smile. "Doctor," he said, "I feel better, and something's waking up again in the mornings. It's been a while since my body responded like that." No miracle, just reduced inflammation and revived blood vessels. 3. Supporting natural nitric oxide production, the signal of masculinity. Nitric oxide, NO, is essential for strong erections. It's a signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to open and send blood to the penis. But with age, your body produces less nitric oxide, and it breaks down quickly in acidic and oxidative environments, both common in men over 50. Baking soda helps create a slightly alkaline environment that stabilizes nitric oxide and reduces oxidative stress, preserving the enzymes and cells that make it. It not only helps you produce more NO, but also keeps it active longer. Thomas, 63, a reserved man with tired eyes, said he hadn't felt anything in a long time. It wasn't about love. The signal simply wasn't reaching him. After health analysis, we ruled out hormones or psychology and found the issue was with his blood vessels and nitric oxide levels. I guided him through a low-dose baking soda routine, 4 days a week, paired with foods rich in L-arginine and L-citrulline, no precursors, and morning deep breathing to improve oxygen delivery. 3 weeks later, he returned and said, "Doctor, it's like the signal is back. Not overwhelming, but I feel something again, like a circuit just reconnected." That's nitric oxide. You can't see or smell it, but your body knows when it returns. If you've listened this far, don't stop now, because the most important part, part 6, is coming. And if you only apply one thing from this guide, let it be part 6. Why? Because no matter how much testosterone your body produces, if your receptors aren't sensitive, the hormone won't work. You'll have testosterone, but it's useless. In part 6, I'll share how baking soda, seemingly unrelated to testosterone, can help your body respond more effectively to its own male hormones. You'll see why many men after 50 don't lack testosterone, but lack the ability to feel its strength. And you'll learn how to unlock that system with one simple morning action. Don't miss part 6. It's the key, the turning point, and possibly the only thing you need to reclaim your masculinity. 4. Improving oxygen delivery to erectile tissue, because getting blood there isn't always enough. Many men think that as long as blood can reach the penis, their erectile function will return. But here's something most don't realize. There's a big difference between blood arriving and blood actually doing its job once it's there. Imagine blood like a delivery truck. It reaches the destination, but if it's empty, it doesn't matter. In this case, what's inside the truck, the real cargo, is oxygen. Erections aren't just about filling the penis with blood. They require a high amount of oxygen to maintain pressure inside the erectile chambers, generate local energy, and sustain firmness throughout. As we age, the body's ability to release oxygen from red blood cells weakens. And here's where baking soda steps in once again. In an acidic environment, which is more common as we age, hemoglobin tends to cling tightly to oxygen. It doesn't release it easily to the tissues. But when your body is in a slightly alkaline state, which baking soda supports, a biological mechanism known as the Bohr effect kicks in. It allows hemoglobin to let go of oxygen more freely, making it available exactly where it's needed. To be clear, baking soda doesn't add more oxygen to your blood. What it does is help release the oxygen that's already there, more efficiently, more effectively, and at the right time. And that's often the difference between a fleeting, weak erection and one that's firm, full, and lasting. I think of Richard, 61, a health-conscious man with a fairly active lifestyle. He ate well, exercised regularly, but still came to me frustrated by weak, short-lived erections that didn't feel controllable. "Doctor," he said, "I can feel blood moving down there, but it doesn't stay. It's like it loses power." After evaluating his health, we found no serious cardiovascular issues, but his oxygen saturation was borderline, and his hemoglobin showed signs of not releasing oxygen efficiently. I suggested a simple daily habit. Each morning, before breakfast, he drank a glass of warm water with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We paired this with daily breathing exercises, deep, rhythmic breaths. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6. 3 weeks later, Richard came back with a sentence I wrote down immediately. "For the first time in years, I felt a warm sensation down there. Not just an erection, but a sense that blood and energy were actually alive again." That was oxygen. No need to increase testosterone, no extreme measures, just helping the body use what it already has, in the right way. 5. Boosting energy in smooth muscle cells, when the engine that holds blood starts working again. There's a little-known part of male anatomy that plays a huge role in maintaining erections, and that's the smooth muscle inside the penis. This isn't like the muscles in your arms or legs. Smooth muscle is responsible for trapping blood inside the erectile chambers, keeping the penis firm until you no longer need it. But smooth muscle can't do its job if it's running out of energy, and that's exactly what happens as you age. The source of that energy is something inside each cell called the mitochondria, your cellular engine. After age 50, mitochondria begin to slow down. You might not notice it right away, but you feel it. Fatigue, less endurance, erections that start, but don't last. One of the main culprits? A buildup of lactic acid and a drop in pH within the muscle cells, creating a tired, sluggish environment where energy production is impaired. This is where baking soda shines yet again. By helping neutralize lactic acid and restore an optimal pH inside cells, it gives your mitochondria a better environment to function. That means better energy production in the smooth muscle, so it contracts and holds blood properly, keeping your erection firm and steady. I remember Gerald, 65, a well-built man who exercised regularly but came in saying, "I can get hard, but I lose it halfway through. It's like the engine stalls in the middle." We ruled out hormonal and cardiovascular issues, and I suspected the problem lay in cellular energy and smooth muscle endurance. I gave him this protocol: 3 to 4 times a week. After light afternoon workouts, he drank warm water with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. He also committed to getting deeper sleep, since mitochondria regenerate best at night, and started taking magnesium and CoQ10 to support mitochondrial function. After about a month, Gerald came back with a knowing smile and said, "Doctor, I'm not sure if it's just coincidence, but it feels like my engine is back online. It's not just rising faster, it's holding steady. When you restore your mitochondria, you restore the silent strength inside every cell. And in the case of a man over 50, that strength may be exactly what allows you to perform when it matters most. 6. Increasing testosterone receptor sensitivity. When you already have the key, but the lock won't turn. When a man feels low energy, reduced desire, or disconnected from his intimate life, the most common reaction is to assume, maybe my testosterone is low. And sometimes that's true. But often, it's not the whole story. Over the years treating hundreds of middle-aged and older men, I've met many with completely normal, even high levels of testosterone for their age. Yet they still felt weak, tired, indifferent, and disconnected from their masculinity. Why? Because testosterone is just the messenger. What really matters is whether the message is being received. In your body, the message receivers are called testosterone receptors. They're found in muscle, bone, brain tissue, and sexual organs. If these receptors aren't responsive, it doesn't matter how much hormone you produce. It won't be received, transmitted, or used. It's like having a key, but the lock is rusted shut. One of the biggest reasons for this receptor resistance is internal acidity. Chronic low-grade inflammation, oxidative stress, and imbalanced pH all reduce receptor sensitivity. They gum up the locks and mute your body's response to testosterone. This is why baking soda, with its natural alkalizing effects, becomes a powerful ally. By restoring a more alkaline internal environment and reducing inflammation, it helps the receptors become responsive again. The locks are cleaned and polished. The message gets through. The same testosterone now works as it should. I think of Martin, 59 years old, a successful businessman, sharply dressed with a sharp gaze, but his voice was heavy. "Doctor," he said, "my testosterone levels are supposedly fine, but I don't feel like myself anymore." His desire was low, emotions flat, and intimacy with his wife had grown cold. Instead of prescribing hormone replacement, I suggested a simpler path. He would drink baking soda and warm water 3 mornings a week, on an empty stomach. He cut down on refined sugar and inflammatory foods. Most importantly, he committed to getting better, deeper sleep, since testosterone receptors are most active during restful sleep. 6 weeks later, Martin returned. This time, his eyes were clearer, his expression still polished, but livelier. He said, "Doctor, I can't measure it exactly, but I know I'm back. I'm starting to want again, and that feeling, it means everything." He didn't need more testosterone. His body just needed to start listening to it again. 7. Supporting liver and kidney detox, cleansing from within to come alive again. When it comes to men's sexual health, most people focus on testosterone, blood flow, or the nervous system. But there are 2 often overlooked organs that play a massive supporting role: the liver and kidneys. These organs are responsible for filtering blood, detoxifying the body, regulating internal balance, and metabolizing hormones. When your liver and kidneys are overworked or sluggish, your body begins to accumulate waste products, free radicals, and excess metabolic byproducts. The result? Circulation slows, inflammation rises, energy drops, your mood darkens, and your sexual function declines, often without a clear explanation. Unfortunately, after the age of 50, detoxification efficiency naturally declines, especially if you've taken medications for years, eaten a high-protein diet, consumed alcohol regularly, or led a sedentary lifestyle. This is where baking soda, while not a liver medication, offers significant support. By helping balance blood pH, promote uric acid excretion, and reduce kidney tubule strain, baking soda lightens the load on these vital detox organs. It creates a more favorable internal environment for your liver to process toxins and for your kidneys to cleanse the bloodstream. I recall Carlos, 66, a Latin American chef who had worked in restaurant kitchens for over 3 decades. He came to me feeling chronically tired, short of breath, with poor sleep, and little interest in intimacy. But more than anything, he said he felt heavy on the inside. Liver and kidney tests showed no disease, but their function was clearly slowed. I didn't prescribe drugs. Instead, I gave him a simple routine. Each morning on an empty stomach, he drank a glass of warm water mixed with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda 3 to 4 times per week. He increased his daily water intake to help flush toxins and cut down on alcohol while eating more vegetables and making space for a few moments of stillness every night before bed. 5 weeks later, Carlos returned. His eyes were brighter, his posture more relaxed, and he said something that made me smile. "Doctor, not only do I sleep better, but when I wake up, I feel lighter. It's like someone opened a valve inside me. Things are flowing again. I feel alive." That feeling wasn't just physical. It was emotional too. When your internal system is cleansed and supported, your body naturally begins to restore forgotten functions, including desire, intimacy, and connection to yourself. 8. Reducing sugar cravings and belly fat. Because your waistline affects your confidence and your sex life. If you're a man over 50 and have ever looked down and thought, "Why won't this belly go away?" You're not alone. Belly fat, especially visceral fat, isn't just a cosmetic issue. It acts like a hidden endocrine organ, producing estrogen, a female hormone, and suppressing testosterone, the hormone that fuels your masculine strength and presence. Put simply, the bigger the belly, the smaller the sense of manhood. What's even more concerning is the metabolic loop that belly fat creates. Low energy leads to sugar cravings, which spike blood sugar and insulin, promoting more fat storage and more estrogen. This further suppresses testosterone and causes even stronger cravings for sugar, creating a self-reinforcing spiral. Baking soda, seemingly unrelated to belly fat, can actually help break this cycle. When taken in appropriate amounts, it supports blood sugar regulation and stabilizes internal pH. This reduces those intense sugar cravings and helps curb false hunger. Your body becomes better at burning fat, especially stubborn lower belly fat that's notoriously resistant in middle-aged men. I remember Jack, 62, a cheerful man who often joked about his belly. "Doctor, this gut is my trophy from 40 years in the beer industry." But after a health screening showed his testosterone was unusually low and his blood sugar near pre-diabetic levels, he began to worry. I offered him a plan. Every morning, he drank warm water mixed with a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda 30 minutes before breakfast. He didn't have to cut out sugar cold turkey, just allow his cravings to fade naturally. He also walked for 20 minutes each morning after drinking his baking soda to take advantage of the alkaline state and boost fat burning. 4 weeks later, Jack came back to my office, lifted his shirt with a grin, and said, "Look at this, Doc. My belly's softened and it's shrinking. And the weird thing is, I don't crave sweets like I used to. I'm eating less, and it doesn't feel like punishment." Then he laughed and added, "My wife says I look younger. But me? I just feel more like a man again." As you can see, regaining your edge isn't just about how much testosterone you have. It's about how much weight is pressing down on the power already inside you. And belly fat? That's one of the heaviest burdens. Lose it, and you might just rediscover the man you've always been. 9. Calming the nervous system and releasing stress, because love begins where the fight ends. There's a truth many men don't want to face. You might have testosterone, good circulation, and desire, but if your mind is under chronic stress, your body will shut down all sexual function. It's biology. When your brain perceives a threat, whether it's financial pressure, marital tension, or simply the mental burden of needing to perform, your sympathetic nervous system activates. This triggers the fight-or-flight response, faster heartbeat, shallow breathing, blood diverted to your limbs, and reproductive systems shut down completely. Why? Because if you're running from a tiger, you don't stop to make love. This is where baking soda, seemingly unrelated to emotions, can make a quiet but powerful difference. By reducing acidity, lowering inflammation, and stabilizing blood pH and breathing, baking soda sends a message to your brain. You're safe now. Only then can your parasympathetic nervous system, the system of rest, recovery, and connection, take over. I remember Tom, 60, a solid, grounded man who used to be in the military. But when he sat down in my office, his voice was low and unsure. "Doctor, I still love my wife, but I don't feel anything anymore. It's like I'm disconnected, physically and emotionally." He had tried hormones, supplements, and exercise, with no lasting change. The real issue? His body was stuck in defense mode. His posture, his eyes, even his breath, all showed he was still on high alert, always ready for battle. I told him gently, "Your body never stopped fighting, so it never had the chance to love." We made a subtle shift. Every evening he drank warm water mixed with baking soda. Then he practiced slow, mindful breathing for 5 minutes, each breath a signal to his nervous system that it was finally safe. I encouraged him not to focus on performance, but instead to reconnect with his partner through gentle touch and emotional presence. 3 weeks later, Tom returned. His face looked softer, his shoulders more relaxed. He said, "We didn't do anything dramatic, but for the first time in a long time, I could hold her and feel close again. And that night, my body just responded, naturally, without forcing it." Sometimes, healing doesn't require trying harder, but letting go. And something as simple as warm water and baking soda can be the first invitation your body needs to come home to love again. 10. Unlocking full effectiveness with lemon juice or apple cider vinegar. When a small morning ritual changes everything. In the search for better health, energy, and vitality, we often chase complicated or expensive solutions. But sometimes, the simplest habits, nearly free and effortless, hold the key to real change. 1 glass of warm water, a little baking soda, a splash of fresh lemon juice, or a spoonful of apple cider vinegar. That's it. Yet this can be the morning ritual your body has been waiting for. Both lemon juice and apple cider vinegar are rich in antioxidants, digestive enzymes, and mild anti-inflammatories. They support digestion, stabilize blood sugar, and gently lower inflammation. The 3 foundational conditions your body needs to regulate hormones, maintain good circulation, and boost energy. When combined with baking soda, a gentle alkalizing reaction occurs. This doesn't just calm your stomach acids, when timed properly, but also promotes a slightly alkaline body environment. That state helps your inner systems run smoothly, from hormones to blood vessels, from nerves to cellular respiration. One of my favorite examples is Barry, 64, a retired university lecturer living a quiet life that had slowly lost its spark. "Doctor," he told me, "I'm not sick. But I feel like a dim lamp, not bright, not off, just flickering, waiting to fade." We didn't start with medications or gym plans, just a tiny morning habit. Every morning, Barry mixed a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda into a glass of warm water. He squeezed in half a lemon, or occasionally added a spoonful of raw apple cider vinegar. He drank it slowly, in silence, at least 20 minutes before eating. 5 weeks later, Barry returned. He sat down, smiled gently, and said, "I don't know exactly why, but I feel switched on again. I sleep better. I wake up earlier, and my wife says I seem more alive. Then he said something that stuck with me. I think it's because every morning I start by choosing to care for myself. You see, transformation doesn't always require dramatic action. Sometimes, a small, repeated act is enough to awaken an entire system that's been dormant. For many of my patients, this simple morning blend of baking soda and lemon or vinegar became the first step back to themselves, healthier, brighter, and more whole as men. Dear friend, if you've stayed with me this far, then perhaps deep inside you is a very real desire, the desire to regain balance, not just in your physical health, but in your confidence, your identity, and your emotional connection as a man. And I want to say this as clearly and sincerely as I can. Baking soda is not a magic pill. It's not a replacement for good nutrition, restful sleep, regular movement, or the support of a loving partner. But in many cases, it has become a starting point, a gentle, persistent catalyst that helps the body begin to heal itself again. Each small glass of warm water in the morning, each conscious breath, taken just a little slower, each quiet signal your body sends as it begins to listen to itself again. These are the first steps towards something powerful. Blood flowing freely once more. Oxygen and energy returning where they belong. Hormones working the way they were meant to. Your nervous system finally able to relax. And perhaps most important of all, your emotional life, your sense of connection, your inner spark, reawakening. The miracle isn't in the white powder. The miracle is in you, the man who chooses to begin again, gently and with awareness. So take that first step. Do it consistently, but wisely. Pair it with a life that nourishes you, one filled with movement, rest, affection, and self-respect. And above all, if you have underlying health concerns, don't hesitate to seek professional medical advice. Being proactive about your health is not weakness. It is strength, your strength, and it's never too late to return to it.